Alrighty, welcome back everybody to the 10th week of our algorithmic programming course with our Tech Bytes program. We have made it to the 2.5 month mark. We've been doing a bunch of learning, a bunch of awesome stuff, tackling new problems each and every week with the programming language of Python. And today we're going to keep on continuing doing that, sort of shifting more control towards you guys, seeing what you guys have been learning. Hopefully you guys are going to have the chance to apply some of the skills. Sort of a similar type of class we did a couple weeks ago where we introduced a problem, you guys did it, and then we at the end have looked at how we can solve the problem together, just becoming more independent and applying more of our skills together. So let's get to it. You guys already know, most of what you guys already know who we are. My name is guys Rayan Siddiqui. I'm a senior at James B. Cohen High School from our local Schaumburg area. Labdi and I got some quotes we like to say. My quote right there is learn, play, code, sleep, and repeat. I know my guys Chase, Ayush, Avanish, they have it engraved in their minds. Hopefully in the coming days, you will be engraving it as well. It's a good way to live.
And okay, my name's Labdi, and I got a cool quote today. Java is to JavaScript what car is to carpet. So what this quote really tells you is that a lot of people think that Java and JavaScript come from the same family, and they're basically the same coding language, but they are not. They are completely opposite, used for different things. And that's just something that differentiates the noobs at coding and the actual coders. So always know that Java is not related to JavaScript in any way. So yeah, there you go.
I remember freshman year when I was signing up for APC CSA, I was like, is Java related? But clearly, once you guys learn about the languages, they are very, very, but different. But today, we're going to keep on continuing to talk about the language of Python and the courses we have to offer. So I know that we have a bunch of new people coming in today, which is awesome to hear. We run some other programs here at the library as well. Chase likes mine better. Alrighty, man. Well, I like Lobbies, personally.
Yeah.
Good analogy. So that was good. So if you guys are new, we got a bunch of other courses we run with Tech Bytes. If you go to the Schaumburg Library's website, if it says Tech Bytes, Labdi and I are running that course. Every Monday, like here today, we have algorithmic programming where we're tackling a problem in the language of Python. We introduce the problem, we talk about what skills are needed to solve it, and then we whiteboard it, draw out, visualize the solution, and then actually get to the fun part of coding it. Every Wednesday then, guys, we have our project development course where we're making an actual project. You know, first project of the first 4 to 6 weeks was called a game called Mastermind. And now for the past couple of weeks, we've been working on something called Tic-Tac-Toe. You probably played it with your friends, but we're making it in a graphical way with something, Chase, what is it called?
GUI.
Yes, sir, the GUI. But remember, this Wednesday, our product development course will not be at 4:30 due to something Labdi and I going on. It's going to be happening at 7:30. So remember, 7:30. This Wednesday, we'll push out an update on the Google Classroom. Make sure you're joined on that so that you know what's happening. But remember, 7:30 this Wednesday. And then I know some people earlier were talking about it. Every other Friday, we have our video gaming hour where we play a game, talk about the code of how it was made, and then actually play it. This Friday, we're going to have a near and dear game being played, one which Labdi actually made along with another friend. So that should be fun to play with. So stay tuned for that. And that'll be happening at our usual 4:30. And then in the upright, we got one special program we do once per month, that being Hack Central. We talk about advanced comp sci topics, which deal with technology, machine learning, some cool stuff which we really aren't able to cover with our algorithmic programming course and product development. If you want to come out, I'd love to see you guys there. It's a bit more advanced, but we still have a lot of fun talking about some great things.
What's happening at 4:30 for you guys?
Oh, actually, we have Math Team Regionals, high school. Yeah, in our high school. We will be competing.
What's that?
So you know how math team works? You compete with other people and then solve math problems. Yeah, we're basically gonna do that. And it's at a regional level, so.
It should be fun. Let's see how Conan does. It should be interesting. But yeah, remember this Wednesday is gonna be at 7:30. Other than that, we are all set. And tomorrow we have Hack Central as well. So we got a 4-program week going on.
Yep. And thank you, Chase, for hyping us up. Really appreciate it. All
You need
right.
a hype video.
So for today's agenda, basically it's going to be similar with what we have been doing. We're going to talk about a problem that we're going to solve. And I think for those of you who are new, let's just go over this really quickly. Basically, we're going to have a problem statement that we're going to read and try to solve it by using code. And think of it like a puzzle. You just have to solve it, like break it, or have a solution basically. And that solution has to be in Python. Now, in order to do that, we actually have to figure out the logic. And to do that, we're going to whiteboard it. So talk it out. And then this time you will get time to code. And then in the end, we will review.
Exactly. We got a question asking about when's our product development. Guys, remember, you can always sign up on the Schaumburg library. And like Avani said, you can join through the Zoom on our Google Classroom as well. So let us know if you have any further questions. But now let's get towards today's problem. That problem being, we will be given a number, a range of the first, our goal is going to be the user is going to input a number. And we want to print out the sum of all the numbers which came before it. So fancy wording right there. We're going to be iterating from the start number to the end number. And in each iteration, we're going to print out the sum of the previous number. So say we say the number 10. We want to see what is 10 plus 9 plus 8 plus 7 plus 6 plus 5 plus 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1. The sum of all of those numbers. And we're going to be utilizing some loops, some other concepts we have learned about as well, and utilizing that idea of iteration. Fun fact, I guess upon this idea, when we're talking about adding the sum of all the numbers before, what if I were to say we're multiplying all the numbers? Anybody know what that's called? A little side math idea right there. Well, okay, well, if we get a chance, we'll get to it when we do our whiteboarding for today. We can take a little minute to talk about another idea with this idea of going back and seeing previous numbers. But that's the problem, guys. Enter a number like 10, and we're going to take the sum of all the numbers before it.
All right, so what we will need to code this problem. Yeah, so first of all, variables. This should be quite obvious by now. In every coding problem, we need variables because we need to store values either permanently or, temporarily to use them again and then do some sort of operation to them. So variables can be numbers or strings, or technically arrays are also variables. They're just a list of different variables. But yeah, we will be using variables today.
Along with functions, guys. Remember, functions are what hold and house all of our code. And specifically today, we will be responsible for creating one function which will be doing all the parts in order to calculate the sum. So say we put the number 10 in, that function will be responsible for holding all of the code, which we'll talk about in a little bit, which will allow us to take the sum of all the numbers previously.
Yep. And last but not least, inside the function, we will use a loop. And why do we need to use a loop? Because as Rayon said, what does our problem statement ask us to do? Given a number, suppose 10, we need to find the sum of all of the numbers before it. So 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6, so on until 10. And if you think about it, we're kind of looping 10 times and then adding that number to it. So we will need to use a loop, and specifically a for loop, because we are using numbers in this case, and it's not a statement that can be true or false at a time that we need to go off of. And I believe it's time for whiteboard.
Yep, so before we give you guys some independent time, let's get towards visualizing this out.
Yeah, and Ryan, can you let me share? Would you be able to let me share?
Yeah, Joe, could you make me a host by chance? I can only give you.
How many different types of loops are there?
Oh, so there's for loop that we all know using numbers. There's while loop, and then there's the for each loop. I think we've used that like maybe one time before. So for each loop, it's kind of like a for loop, but you kind of iterate through every value in an array. So you're gonna say for each person in a classroom, and then do something to that person, instead of saying for I in range 10 and just iterate 10 times. You're just going to iterate a number of times based on the length of the list. Yeah, if else is a conditional, an if statement. So basically that asks you if something is true, then do this, and just that's it. It just goes through like the code one time without like trying to repeat it any number of times. And something that okay, Ryan, we can wait for like a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
If not, I guess. Do you want to whiteboard it?
Yeah, that's fine. Then I can go ahead. We can start opening this up.
Okay. Yeah, so just to finish off what I was saying, while loops do take conditionals like a true or false statement, but they kind of keep looping through until something goes false. While an if statement, it just like goes through that statement once and then that's it. Which is easier, Python or JavaScript? Python all the way. But I am very subjective because I like logic and like algorithms better. If you're thinking about like front-end development, so like the UI, GUI, so like showing your client things, JavaScript is better. So like canvases and all of that. But Python is better if you are working with databases. So handling a bunch of data and trying to organize it. And yeah. Why do they call it JavaScript? I don't know. Wait, do you know?
Yeah, so it was like the main reason why they even included the word Java was because of marketing. I know that they were trying to save money. Like there's like a fun fact last year we talked about. So the guy who founded it, he did it like as like a side project, but apparently it became much bigger than a side project obviously now. And they put the word Java, threw it in there, and it obviously became a success, right? What's the background of Python? I know that Python is actually because the guy who wrote it had like a love for animals. I'm pretty sure it was something to do with that. Yeah, circus. Yep, it was because of that circus thing. Alrighty, so I guess for now we'll just get on started with this idea of whiteboarding out today's solution. All right, guys. So our goal, remember, today is to put in a number and then take all the numbers before it and take the sum of it. So essentially, like Labby was talking about earlier, we're gonna have to utilize some type of loop. Now, does anybody have an idea what type of loop are we talking about?
4.
Exactly. Chase, can you explain why?
I think it's because the other ones won't work well enough, and this one, it'll keep on running it.
Exactly. And the main reason is because we know how many times our for loop will have to run. So this makes our jobs much easier. And in order to run a for loop, which is going to run multiple times and iterate over our number. And also at the beginning of the program, we're going to have to ask the user, asking them, how many times do you want this program to run? One sec. Okay, so initially, our first step is going to be asking the user what number they want. So say I put the number 10 in, that tells me that I have to take the sum of 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then our next step is then going to be to use this idea of a for loop in order to get all the numbers from before. Now, in order to do this, what we're going to do is have an idea of keeping some type of variable. Now, this variable can be like a previous number type of variable, which will be responsible for the number which occurred before our number. So say the number for 10 is 9, number for 9 is 8. So that's what that number variable will be responsible for. And then essentially what we're going to have to do is create one more variable which will be responsible for holding the sum. So the sum will be the previous number plus whatever already exists in our sum. And once we run this, however many times our for loop runs, we should, at the end of the day, be able to get whatever our sum is. So if we go over, let's do some quick math right here. Say we do like a small number, we put in the number 5. That is not level 5. Say we do a 5, then our program would be responsible for doing this calculation of 5 plus 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1. And this would get us 15. Now, if we could apply the same thing, let's do a little competition right here. I know when Avanish is in the building, he likes to show it off. So here we go. So if you had the number 7, what will the solution be? Anybody know?
28.
Dang it, I was just coming.
Nice. So we'll do one more round. Oh. How about the number 11? We'll go big. 11.
$66.
Nice one. Yeah.
Yep. All
That's-
right. Nice. All right. So that is what we are going to be doing. Now, earlier today, you probably heard me talking about something which I was saying, what if we were to, instead of add all the numbers before, instead we were to do something, which I'm not going to say what that exactly is. You guys got to fill in the blank. But say we had the number 5 again, right? What if we were to do, instead of adding the numbers before, we multiply. We did 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. Anybody know what this mathematical term, what is this called? What is this pattern, what we're doing right here? Fabian, yes, you have the correct exclamation mark. You know what it's called? Alrighty, so this is something a bit different. It's called factorial, and it's a way for us to do the product of all the numbers before. So like the number 5, like Fabian just put in the chat, if we were to do 5 exclamation mark, that tells us that we're going to do this calculation right here. We do 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1, all the numbers before. 120, I believe that is, yep, that's correct. Avanish, nice, yeah. So this is a term which we're not utilizing today, but still our goal is to check out, introduce, explore some new topics. So that's something which you should know about factorial as you move along in your math careers. But today, this middle part is our main goal, which we're going to be coding, taking the sum of all the numbers previously. But today, like we said, there is a little bit of a twist, right?
Yep. So instead of coding, I think we've done this before one time, and all of us did it really nice. We will be using Replit to code, and basically, you guys will be given time to take a look at the logic that we just talked about, and then try to solve the problem using Python. And then I will put the wait. Did Replit? Did they change their domain name to Replit?
Yeah, I think they're replit.com now.
Yeah, they changed.
They did it just to mess with us.
They knew about us, man. What is this?
Yeah.
One of the people that is here is watching is from the people, the creators.
Who's undercover? Who's the undercover boss right here?
I suspect Ayush.
Alrighty, guys. So there is the link in the chat. The website for Replit. I'd highly recommend that you go ahead and create your own account and your own Replit so that you can code on your own. But if you'd like, you can definitely code in our shared file as well. So before we let you guys run loose, anybody have any questions? Does everybody understand what the goal is right here? We have a number. We're taking a user input. You could even hard code it if you'd like the number 5. And our goal is to run a for loop, which will allow us to take the sum of all the numbers before it. Does that make sense, everybody?
Yep.
Alrighty. So I would recommend that you guys open up your own Replit, and then as the next 10 minutes move along, I'll start adding some bare bone code, some template, so that you guys can get going as well. So right now it's 4:58. We'll go until about 5:08-ish. Good luck. And guys, please ask us questions, unmute, or just message me or lobby.
Wait, Rayan, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh man, okay. I don't know, my Wi-Fi is tweaking. Like I can't access the internet at all.
Oh, okay. Your video is coming out fine to me right now. So.
Hopefully.
And if you'd like the link to create your own account, that is in the chat as well, so that you don't have to work off of our shared. Oh, not that link. Wait. This link. There we go.
It looks so much like yours.
Yeah, use the second link if you want to make your own replit, so that we'll ask people if you finish, or if you, however far you get, if you'd like to share at the end of the 10 minutes, we'll take a minute and see how far we've gone. Oh no, we lost the audio.
Chirp, chirp.
So I'm going to start adding some Berry code, and hopefully you guys are opening your own replit on the side and starting to code on your own as well. Yes, Sach, you can definitely. Oh, this is a meet. This is a webinar. Okay, so we cannot do breakout rooms. So if you just want to wait a couple minutes, Sach, and then we'll go over all of the code. Chase keeping the chat alive. Chase, make sure that you're keeping the code alive as well. Try to get however far you can. Best of luck and ask questions. Remember, we already got the first part right here, and we're just going to be taking the user's input. Now we got to create that for loop and then a variable which will keep track of all the sum. That is all good, Sharia. Give you guys about 8 more minutes, guys, till 5:10 will go out.
Hey, what's going on, Rayan? Labdi?
Would you be able to make me co-host? I mean,
For some reason, I wasn't able to make Lobby Coast, but it's fine. We found a way around. We're good.
I didn't even know we were supposed to be coding, so.
Yeah, so make your own replicate, guys, and then start adding your own twist. Start coding it.
All right, sorry, guys.
You have Slack, so that's totally fine. You can copy the code we have right here and then paste it if you'd like.
Wait, how do you like go on the page that you guys are on?
There is a link. I can drop it in the chat again. It should be.
Yeah, actually I'm using my iPad for the link for the Zoom, and then I'm just typing on my dad's computer.
Oh, that's totally fine. That's awesome. That you
Just saying, we're taking the sum of each of the numbers of that number, right?
Yeah. So this code was. I'm not sure who wrote. Like, don't go off that right now. Yeah. So say it's the number 10. We're going 10 plus 9 plus 8 plus 7. You get it right. This is, by the way, incorrect code. It's just foreshadowing what we're doing in the future. All right, we'll give you guys a couple more minutes, guys. Hopefully you're making way. And then if you like to share, we can start seeing what you guys made as well.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I just connected from my phone. I don't know, my computer is giving me a hard time.
That's all good. Alrighty, so guys, it is nearing 5:10-ish. So at this time, I'd like to ask anybody want to share, drop the link to what they made. And I'm not asking for perfection, guys. I just want to see what you guys have made. Let's see our ideas and combine them together. Come on, somebody had to try. I know. Navneesh, Ayush, Chase, you guys have been here for a while. Navya, Krishna,
I
Huh?
just started taking the code.
that's totally fine. We'll go over the solution, but nobody wants to share what they attempted? Anybody want to share how they were planning on tackling the problem?
I went with a little bit less of a harder one because I probably need to go back and rewatch some of it.
Totally fine, yeah.
I'm trying to figure out the link. So I went for one that it would be easier to do sorry, cover up link. I went with one that would be a little bit easier for me to figure out. Also, this is not one I named it. It just came in and I didn't have time to rename it.
That is totally fine. All right, so Chase, this is good. This is great, actually. So Chase has a similar idea, guys. Right now, we're taking a look at what he was trying to attempt. He got the user input right here, the first line. What number do we want to take the sum of? And then it's the same. It's the right idea. He's using a for loop in order to keep track of how many digits and what sum are we going to keep track of. So that's a good idea, Chase, and we'll definitely be utilizing this today in our final solution. Oh no, let us exit it out. No. Anybody else? Last call? Want to share? Any ideas? Something they went over?
Completely fine if it's just one line of code that you wrote or proud of. You want to share?
Joe, are you gonna be at the Among Us thing?
Remember, Ayush, it's not Among Us this Friday. We got something cooler.
No, like there's an Among Us event like today at 6.
Oh. Assuming Joe will be. I'm not sure if you might be doing something, but yeah, Joe will be. I'm sure.
He says yes.
I'm pretty sure he'll be there starting it at least. Yeah.
And that would be, it's gonna be Chase and Joe and me and Anna all going against each other.
Oh my. Well, tell us a story on Wednesday. But how about, guys, now we get back to our, let's cut this out finally, right? Let's get the solution out. So we had some awesome submissions. Chase already planning out a scheme. Guys, remember, our idea is we type a number in from the user, and then we want to take the sum of all the digits which occurred previously. Now, Chase had a really good idea of using a for loop, and that's what we're going to utilize today. But it's going to be a bit of a different type of for loop. You see the for loop we're going to be utilizing today is going to be a for x in a range of whatever the number the user put in. So we're going to say is for x in range of the user number. So now if I just print out all the values of x, we will see all the numbers which occur before the number the user put in. So if I put the number in of, let it load up. Come on. There we go. So say I do the number 10, then the one thing, remember, our current input from the user is a string. We got to convert it into an integer format. So I got to make sure I add the int before and after. This makes sure that we're treating like the letters are much different than numbers, right? So this allows this int, make sure that whatever the user inputted is actually a number, and we're not comparing letters to numbers. So now, say I want to take the sum of 10. We see all the numbers from 0 through 9 being printed out. Now, why is that happening? Remember, in a for x in range type of loop, we're always going to one less than whatever number we're looking after. So anybody have an idea? What can I do to include the number 10? What can I do right here?
You could put the print in front of x if you want to make it 10 instead.
Definitely. And how about right here in the parentheses? Right now it's going 0 through 9. What can I do? Add plus. Yep. Add in.
-1.
Yep. Perfect. Exactly. If I add 1, now if I hit run and do 10, we see all the digits from 0 through 10 being accounted for. And now is the easy part. We just got to keep track of the sum. What I'm going to do is create a variable inside of my function called sum. And initially it's going to be 0. And now all we have to do is say the sum is equal to whatever value we're currently at plus the previous sum. And then at the end, we will just print out and say the final sum is the sum. So guys, right here, this one line of code is saying initially when the sum is 0, 0 plus 0 is still 0. But then when it gets to the 1, 0 plus 0 equals 0 plus 1, which is 1. Then our sum equals 1 plus 2, which is 3. Then it equals 2 plus 3, which is 5. Then it equals 5 plus 3, which is 8. And so on and so forth, keep on building that sum. So now if I hit run, and do the number 10, we get that the final sum is 55. If I do the number 5, we know it should go 15, and voila. There we go. We see that the final sum is 15. And we can keep on doing this for any number we want. Say if we go 100, we still get that the sum is 5,050. Now, a thing to note right here is since this is just simple addition, I could even go to like 1,000, and our program would still run pretty instantly. But now if we were talking about doing some other operations involving some other types of math, like multiplication, going more factorial, I think that would increase the runtime of our program. But that's another thing to think about. So that is the solution for today. Hopefully you had a good attempt at trying to make your best effort at it. As we move on, guys, more of our goal is, we've been teaching for the 10th week, 2.5 month mark. Lavdia and I want to sort of start instilling some of those skills that you guys are more independent, learning how to apply these skills. And we'll start tackling more problems. And then as always, coming together to solve them together. But give yourself a pat on the back for making an effort today. It is good. Cool.
All right, and that should be, yeah.
Alrighty, guys. So that takes us till the end for this week's algorithmic programming. Hopefully, you guys had a good time. It's a fun problem. We're going to keep on continuing this. Remember, guys, this Wednesday, our product development will be happening at 7:30 p.m., not 4:30, 7:30 p.m. And then Friday, we got our gaming hour. And then tomorrow, Hack Central. We'll catch you guys 4:30. We'll do something cool with that as well, something different. And then next week, we got spring break. Tech Bytes is going to be off for the whole next week. We'll miss you guys. Take care, guys. But enjoy the weather, I guess. It's snowing outside right now, but it's supposed to be like 60-something throughout the spring break. So hopefully more of that sun comes out. But other than that, guys, we got nothing more else for you. Take care. Have a good week. See you guys.
Bye. Thank you.